And Crispin, Tovan, you are PCCB member, but you are from the small island country from the Caribbean, and also now representing a regional organization. So, have you had any interaction with this UNEP DTU exercises?
Thanks, Marty. Well, until last year, early last year, I was with the government of St. Lucia, and I used to be St. Lucia's lead negotiator. So yes, I was familiar with some of the work, and also over the years, I would have been involved in a lot of the national initiatives, pertaining to national reporting, for example, the technology needs assessments, for example, and the also national communications, etc., etc. I think it's obvious that there's a lot of good work being done, but for us, one of the challenges, and I can speak from personal experience, one of the challenges that we faced, especially in the small island situation, very often the same set of people, very small group of people who had to see about, take the lead of reporting, for example. We were the same ones who had to be taking part in negotiations, interfacing with people with our stakeholders on the ground, and within other government agencies, in terms of trying to help to secure financing and so on to undertake activities. So essentially, what we often had was not necessarily a lack of skills within the group, but a lack of, for one another, personnel, warm bodies to actually get the work done, right? So, you have to, one multitask the best you can, but very often certain people have to wait because you're doing something else. And, even in terms of uptake, sometimes where resources might be available, to undertake activities, say assessments or, what have you. So for someone to actually write and put in the proposal to get to secure the funding, takes some, it's not extremely difficult, but it will take some time to get it done. And if you're doing something else, and in some cases where people are not working exclusively on climate change, that was a real challenge. So that's one of the realities that we face. And I'm always interested in hearing what best practice has emerged from similar jurisdictions, so in terms of how to handle that kind of situation.
Yes, that's very right. And also it's the same challenge we capacity building implementers face when working with countries. It's really a small group. But to overcome that barrier, we most of the times work with other entities in the countries that can support the government to implement activities. So, but now what we are promoting that experts, sectoral experts are trained. That's the only way that capacity building can be sustainable, because depending on external consultants obviously is very helpful. They are very knowledgeable and they bring solutions to the country problems, but many times it's being a recurrent complaint by government that the consultants, they do their work, they do a very good work, but they just deliver the results, and many times they don't give the whole package, right? Information or models or tools they may have used to do, for example, in transparency for national communications or the inventories. So it's a recurrent problem, and one of the ways we have said maybe we need to focus on sector experts and help them train so the capacities are there. So the country doesn't have to mobilize more funding from the public budget to pay more people. That would be lovely. That government is able to absorb these capacities that are created, but we understand that governments have other priorities, so they need to depend eternally on consultants. That's exactly. So we also face a challenge. It's a small group of people really knowledgeable in climate change and going to many meetings and having to respond to expectations from donors to work in different initiatives for support. And we are aware of the challenges. in some countries, through these supports, they hire consultants and they have them working with them in the ministries. But this is unsustainable because once the interventions are finished, the consultants are not absorbed by the governments.
So one question about this NDC help desk. Why NDC help desk? And they can pose questions. And how much visitors and how much clients, so to say, you have there?
I do not have the exact analytics here, but it seems the opening of this help desk, we have questions from various countries, and then we have visitors about 3,000 to 4,000, and then some questions, I'm supposed to train these questions, and then we answer to those questions. We also have this list of frequently asked questions and answers, so you can visit. Then you will be able to find out some questions you have in mind, or if there is not, then you can send your question to us.
A little bit same type of question that the guidebooks that. For example, here in COP and other climate change meetings, you could easily collect a library of guidebooks. So, what is your feeling about their use?
I can respond to what we do in the Technology Needs Assessment Project. We have one main guidebooks for the whole process, which is it's 30 pages, so I don't think that's very long. And then we have a number of supporting guidances that countries can rely on if they want to go into more detail. And what we also do is that we try to mainstream our different guidebooks, so we have a somehow similar approach to when we work with countries on that we integrate NDC work into the Technology Needs Assessment guidebook, etc., so they can actually, I would say, use the same type of guidelines for the similar processes. Of course, they have different outcomes in terms of TNAs and NDCs, but the processes are very much the same, and the guidelines are very much aligned on how we work. So we internally also seek to align the guidance that we provide to countries.
Yeah, then one issue that these technology need assessments have really been helpful also for this Paris Committee on Capacity Building, because there you also identify the gaps and needs in capacity, and it has been very interesting for us to read it. But one question on that how much that those capacity needs which are identified there reflect also, when we speak about technology, we speak about private sector, because private sector is the owner of the technology and they are the ones who are running it. So government officers, it's the laptop which is their technology, but the climate change related technology is much more than the laptop. So how much those technology need assessments and capacity assessments there relate to private sector capacity needs?
Well, I don't have the collected overview of that, but I would imagine countries focus on, as you say, sort of the more hardware-intensive technologies, which is much related to the private sector. But I would also say that, especially for adaptation, they relate quite a lot to a change in practice or the more softer type of technologies, which is training of extension officers or the like. We haven't done an assessment of of how much relate to the private sector. But of course, we have smart water meters as a priority for Tanzania, and for that there's a capacity building of the national or the local water authorities. So that's of course related, but that's again related to the public sector. So I would say it's very much about technologies maybe related to the private sector, but again it comes back to the public sector in terms of implementing the technologies, especially those that countries are prioritizing in their technology needs assessments. We encourage countries to work together with the private sector from the very beginning of the technology needs assessment project to incorporate their views on what they see as requirements from when they identify their needs. It would be interesting to do a more full assessment of what the differentiation is between the public and private focus of the countries. And I'm sure it would differ between the countries to what extent that is focused.
But you have those PhD students, don't you?
We do.